argument, and actually not really argument, but evidence, data to suggest that a lot of our genes, a lot of what we talked about originally came from viruses. So we're kind of virus ourselves in a way. We wouldn't exist without them, you might say. I don't know if they're too critical of genes, but they've definitely been found. Now, bacteria, there are definitely bacteria that don't do anything to us. But most of them actually help us. They help us digest food. They help us, they actually synthesize certain vitamins for us, help us fight against other diseases. Good questions. So a lot of this is very recent research, and it's very interesting. Let's take a look. All right, we're going to start with bacteria. Get my notes out here. Notes. All right, bacteria. So we talked about them before. And by the way, let me just quickly say, I know I'm on a tangent right now and I hate doing that. So I don't think I said why, like the pre-health profession. Well, if you're going into that profession, you're going to learn a lot about the different diseases that bacteria and viruses can cause. And so that's why they're highly relevant here. That's why we don't really talk much about plants, not really about animal diversity or ecology in this class, which I do in other intro bio classes. But anyways, I love micro. This stuff is cool. I want to teach it someday. So we'll do some talk about it. Okay. So bacteria, they are single-celled, unicellular. We learned this. They are prokaryotic. So what does that mean? They are prokaryotic. So this is a bit of a recall to the first unit. Prokaryotes versus eukaryotes. They lack a membrane-bound nucleus as well as membrane-bound organelles. They're not as complex, right? Much smaller. And we also learned in endosymbiosis, right, that they existed before we did on the planet. And so, okay, no, I don't, sorry. Be nice if the slide was up too. Really bacteria, I've maybe used this comparison, that they're the flip phone. They can call and text, the most important things. They can't Google things, you can't listen to music, you can't do all this extra fun stuff like eukaryotes can. They got a lot more machinery going on. Well, the prokaryotes, they have the essentials, the calling, the texting, right? So what do they have? They don't have this, but they have DNA. That's crucial, as we just saw. Ribosomes are crucial. We saw that. And a cell membrane. Not a cell if you don't have a cell membrane. And something else interesting about our bacteria here, talking about bacteria, as well as the other prokaryotes, archaea, same sort of thing, but we're going to start going more specifically to bacteria. Not really any archaea diseases that I know of. this is something we haven't talked about. The fact that bacteria also have cell walls. Who remembers what other types of cells have cell walls? Yeah, plant cells. And they were made of cellulose, right? That the structural polysaccharide cellulose gave the plant cells support. Well, bacteria also have cell walls. And their cell wall for a bacterial cell, it's made of a molecule called peptidoglycan. Peptidoglycan. And you'll really, when you take microbiology for all of the future health professionals here, you'll kind of look at this structure up close. But it's called peptidoglycan cell wall. All right. Cool. All right, so bacteria come in 3 different shapes, or morphology is the fun, fancy word for shape. Cellular morphology. So there's 3 different types. They also come in different arrangements, which I will clarify on the board. And then lastly, you can either have gram-positive or gram-negative bacteria. Let me see here. Okay. So let's first look at these shapes of bacterial cells. And there's three shapes. You can have cocci, bacilli. Now this is plural. So coccus, yeah, cocci, plural. Bacillus would be singular, bacilli. And then also the spirals. So a cocci bacterial cell is circular, like that. The bacilli shaped are these rod-shaped bacteria, just like a little longer, like that. The spirals, they look different entirely, but you know, you can have there's a few varieties within the spirals. So you can have some that look like that. You can have some that are super freaking crazy spiral looking, like that. Actually, Treponema Pallidum is the name of the bacterium that causes syphilis, and it is a spirochete. That morphology actually allows it to burrow into your tissues and get into your nervous system, and it's really a not fun situation. And so those are the shapes, and then so they come in different arrangements as well. So a few possible arrangements. Strepto. Strepto means it's linear, like this. Staphylo refers to a clustering, this. So this would be a staphylococcus, or cocci, staphylococci. And then a few arrangements of spiral. It's really just the specific shape. So a couple examples would be Vibrio and spirochete, which I actually kind of drew up here. So Vibrio Cholerae is the bacterium that causes cholera, which is a very deadly thing in especially third world countries that don't have proper sewage sanitation. And again, the spirochetes are like crazy looking. Want to see oh, here we go. So to kind of wrap up today, here are actually, if you're still writing, I feel like it went kind of quick, so let me leave it up for another second there, and then we can look at the official picture. So like strep throat, right? Streptococcus pyogenes is the full name of the bacterium that causes it. And it has that morphology. Staph infection, Staph aureus, it's a deadly thing. Staphylococcus aureus. E. coli cells, Escherichia coli, they're rod-shaped, but they don't do any of these rearrangements. They exist on their own. So there are a few, again, all disease causing, right? But yeah, you eat Greek yogurt, those are all yummy, good for you bacteria. So I always like to, oh, really? Damn, that must have been a severe situation. Very curious. Glad you didn't. So, because I talked to my dad, he's a doctor, and he's had very few cases, but he says every time there's staph involved, it's no bueno. It's like serious, trying to die, like really, really crazy infection. Okay, so let's look at the slide and then we'll be done. And I think I included this too, just to emphasize that these bacterial cells are really a lot smaller, like a 10th to 100th the size of our cells. They're much smaller. And so when you look at them in micro, under the microscope, in microbiology, you'll notice that. You got to have a high power to see them. But anyways, here's that slide on the structure. My mentor in my internship that I did, she studied H. pylori, which causes stomach ulcers. This is treponema, that's syphilis, no bueno. But yeah. that's it. We'll start here next time. So questions, and we'll wrap it up.